You're listening to Sip and Grow the podcast, the show where we taste awesome, delicious wines while having unfiltered conversations about our passions, experiences, struggles, entrepreneurship, and life. My name is Nicole Di Pasquale, and I'm a wine enthusiast just trying to pursue her passions and dreams while taking you on the journey with me, one episode at a time. My ultimate goal is to not only bring you wine knowledge and value, but also inspire you to enjoy your process and journey in pursuing your passions and dreams. Because guess what? The person you become while enduring the process is more important. So sit back, grab a glass, and let's sip and grow together.
Arm hair. Hello, party people. Welcome back to another episode of Sip and Grow the podcast with me, your host, Nicole Di Pasquale, and I'm here with the Dakota Wallace. Y'all ready for her? So if you don't know, Dakota's
now
been
you
on
know.
a couple episodes. We are very close friends, and we're just here clowning around, doing another episode on Sip and Grow.
I showed people, I was at an event the other day. This is important, so everyone put your listening ears on. I was at an event the other day, and everyone was like breaking it down, and they were all like, twerking?
Twerking?
Twerking? Is that what the youth do?
Twerking, yes.
And I was like, do you guys want to see my moves like at the men? And they were like, yeah, Dakota. And I like pulled out the robot and the shopping cart and like the little like knee bounces. And they were like, is that really how you dance in the clubs? And I was like, I don't go to the clubs. What club? What percent club do you think I'm going to in Charlemont, Massachusetts or in Lincoln, New Hampshire, where there's dancing involved? There is no dancing in this girl's life. Okay, how about this wine?
I would be so curious to see if there's like a club here, which currently we're located in Lincoln, New Hampshire, by the way.
This is a rental house.
This is a rented house. Dakota would like you to know.
Aesthetic. But the owners are nice.
Yes.
I should stop singing. It's not wonderful for the ears.
She does not quilt these quilts. She does not knit these quilts. Is what
I do. I have knitted. I have knitted a baby blanket. It was subpar, to say the least.
But you didn't knit all these quilts that you love so much in this establishment.
I hope nobody knitted these because they'd be quilting them, not knitting them.
You're absolutely right. As you can tell, I'm not a knitter or quilter. So I apologize.
Bazing! Gotcha!
Got him. Anyways, let's get into the fucking wine because Nicole obviously can't talk about knitting or quilting.
You know what? We all got lanes and we should stick to them. I don't think that's true. You know what? I think that's very false, and I think people should not. I don't think you should go out there and be like the all-knowing dictator of something you don't know anything about. But I think it's important to swerve. You got to go into other lanes. You got to try things out. You got to taste new flavors. You got to see what's up in the world. Because if you only stay on one track, boo.
But I have a question.
What's up with the wine?
No, I'll tell you about the wine, but I have a question. You can't knit a quilt? It's called quilting? Like, that's the terminology for it?
So knitting is 2 knitting stick. Knitting needles. And it's a certain, you like purl or you do the traditional knit.
Okay.
Then there's crocheting. But all of those have a woven pattern to them. Like that sweater is knitted, that sweater is crocheted.
Okay.
This is called quilting. Quilting is done on a sewing machine. And quilting is taking small pieces of fabric and creating a pattern with them. And then there's normally a lining in them and then a backing on them. And then there's another machine that I can't remember what it's called, but it creates the, see how that one has like the seams in it?
Yeah.
It creates those seams in it.
I feel like I knew this and like now
you really know.
I sound stupid, but it's fine.
Nobody sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what? You just asked for the people in the back. You asked for the people in the back of the podcast who didn't know.
You know what? You're right. Thank you for supporting my interesting question.
Somebody's got to ask the question. Someone's
I
gonna
will
ask.
always ask the questions.
I was never good at asking.
Let's get
questions.
into the wine so that we can open the wine and we can drink the wine.
Wine.
So this is a Ruche di Castiglione e Monferrato. I know. So
What did they say in High School Musical when she's like fanning herself and she's like muy caliente or something? When you said that, I meant to be like hot, hot, hot. Anyways,
Caliente?
maybe she said caliente. Honestly, I'm still learning English.
Okay.
My apologies.
Well, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
It's a tough language.
So the producer is actually called Crivelli, but the grape varietal is Ruche. Ruche is spelled Ruche.
Write that in your spelling quiz.
I have never heard of this grape varietal, but we tried it, and yeah, we did. She doesn't remember.
We did. It was delicious.
It was. We tried it at Italy in Boston, and I said we have to bring it on the pod because I've never had this grape varietal until that day.
What a blessing I'm here.
But we're gonna go ahead and open it while I talk about this grape varietal.
Please, I'll be quiet.
So it's listening ears back on, or hopefully they're still on. So this is like very similar to the Nebbiolo grape. But
is that what we just had?
We just had a Nebbiolo grape.
Last week in the other episode.
Well, we filmed another episode. We can tell them, it's fine. We filmed another episode that had the Nebbiolo
You don't
grape.
do podcast magic?
No podcast magic.
But I changed my hair. I changed my sweatshirt.
And I changed nothing. So they're going to see me in the same sweatshirt. But basically, this is from the Piedmonte region, which is northwestern Italy. And that region is known for the Nebbiolo grape. But they also have this wonderful grape, which, reading into it, it's also very small production because they only have a certain amount of acreage of land that produces this grape. Found this out. And in 2010, they actually put the DOCG certification on it, which is like the highest certification for Italian wines, aka like the one that follows all the strict guidelines and is the best of the best wine will be under the DOCG certification. So it has certain guidelines or requirements it has to follow, and this one does that, and it has it right here. This little certification says, I am premium, I am luxury.
I am a winner.
I am a winner, choose me. It cost us $28.99. I feel like
Do they have to earn the DOCG every year?
No, they don't. I think like
Gasp!
So technically they do. They just have to maintain the guide. Like they have to be under the guidelines to maintain it as a DOCG. But it's a really big deal to get under the DOCG.
So it's like being a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah, basically.
I know a lot about that.
Do you?
Not really. Not how.
Do you own a Michelin star restaurant? No.
Little did you know, my fourth business.
It's coming soon.
Michelin Dakota.
Dakota's in the food industry, by the way.
I'm in all the industry.
She's
That's
actually
not true. I am not in all.
You're actually in a different, like a lot of industries.
A lot of industries, but not all the industries.
That was I don't like this wine
Nespa.
opener.
Yeah. So I grew up with wine openers like that, but I haven't used this style in eons. I swear we have another one, but all I found was 6 of those when I was searching for the other one.
It's okay. We made it work. We're gonna try
when on the
wines.
road, you got to give what the road gives you.
Give what the road gives you.
Might be bumpy, might be
The road
smooth.
that keeps giving. It might be bumpy. You're right.
Smells
Anyways, what does it smell like?
winey.
Oh God. This is Dakota.
You know what's funny? This is the funny thing. Let me tell you a funny story. Buckle
Please.
up. So anytime that I'm like alone and traveling, which is a lot of my life, that sounds so sad.
She travels for work.
Yes, I travel a lot for work. I'll buy wines, and I'll always record a very long, very in detailed wine tasting for Nicole. And they normally get more and more chaotic as I try more and more because I'm the queen of like, let's buy two 2 or 3 bottles and open them all and try
Fuck around,
a
find
glass
out.
from all of them.
Yeah.
And they get more and more chaotic. But then you put me on the podcast and I'm like, I smell grapes, squished grapes.
But the voice notes are like, oh my God, this smells like it was built in France in the 1940s.
Oh, what did I say when we were in Barcelona? I was like, I'm transported back to the Roman Empire.
It's something, I don't know, something crazy like that.
Something fun. But
Yeah.
you did. We all smelt it.
We did. So what do you smell in this wine, Dakota? Please.
Crushed grapes by dirty feet.
The dirty feet, I can sense the dirty feet.
There was a little toe fungi in there.
I feel like,
Oh, it's a red berry. It's not raspberries, but they're like raspberries. They're not here in the U.S.
I know it's it smells like a goji berry to me.
Ooh, I could get some goji berry.
Goji berries? I feel like it's just really strong on like the red fruit.
Red fruits, yeah.
Notes?
There's no floral notes like what we had earlier today.
No floral notes at all.
There's a slight acidity to it.
And you can almost smell what?
It's not like wood, like Asian wood, but it's like you're walking through a wooded forest.
Okay.
And it's just framed, and you know how you can smell the trees after it's
That's
just
the
framed?
minerality of the wine.
No. Wet wooded forest.
Wet wooded forest is what we smell. Let's go ahead and taste the wine.
Notes of a wet wooded forest.
Wet wooded forest
Aromatics.
in a cup. In a glass.
We got toe fungi, red fruits, and a wet wooded forest.
That should be a candle. Please
come to my wine tastings.
We'll be here till tomorrow. Well, I'll be here till tomorrow.
It's juicy up front, but then you get the acidity and then tannins, but not tannins.
The tannins are very subtle, which is surprising because it smelled like it was going to be highly tannic.
They're just like literally like ding, ding, ding on your palate instead of like bing.
Yeah, the tannins are like softer, which is actually nice. This is a 2023, I believe. Yeah, 2023 vintage, so it's fairly young.
What would we pair this with?
I would pair this with cheeses for sure. I would pair this with meats as well.
I feel like there's a weird food I would pair this with. A fennel and
a miso salmon.
A miso salmon with a fennel and what was that fruit that's in that salad? A fennel, blood orange, and persimmon.
Persimmon, yeah.
Salad.
That sounds
Lucky
so
for us,
fancy.
we have one of those coming up.
Well, are we making that salad
And
tonight?
wild mushrooms.
Oh.
Stir-fried wild mushrooms. Oh,
Yeah.
mushrooms. This would go good with
Actually,
mushrooms.
that would go. Actually, when you said mushrooms, I
Ding,
was like,
ding,
yeah.
ding. Winner.
Like a mushroom risotto would go actually really, really nice with this. I would even do octopus with this.
And the woman speaks.
She's
a big octi girl.
I do like octopus a lot. I know. It's very good.
My dad watched a documentary on octopuses and he was like, you can't eat them. And I was like, Dad, you gotta live life.
You gotta live life.
If you're not LIVIN, you're not living.
Oh gosh. Here it goes. Well, actually, so tomorrow.
Talk about living.
I will be going skiing for the first time.
Yeah, you will be.
Skiing for the first time.
Show us that ski squat.
So, so today I got my boots fitted. It was funny because I got my boots fitted and then the two men were like, oh, you're from Florida. What are you doing here? Basically, that's what they were saying.
They said that nicely. They
Yeah.
said that in the New Hampshire way, like, oh,
Yeah.
that's curious.
New Hampshire people are actually very nice. But
They are.
I feel the judgment behind the niceness.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got fitted for the boots. They were telling me how to squat. And basically to see if the boots feel good because you have to like make sure they're not too tight or too loose. I learned this today. They kind of remind me of rollerblades where you just clip them on.
There's some similarities.
Dakota here is going to be my teacher of the skiing world. And she told me she's not a teacher.
Well, so you have like human design archetypes, right?
Yeah.
Or like archetypes, I don't know. I've done like every human self-test in the world of what I am, right? And my number one thing that I am not good at, like is like capital, not your thing, is teaching. Like I can mentor, but I am not a teacher.
Mentoring the same thing as teaching?
Mentoring is like, come hither, my child, let me tell you the ways of the world.
Come this way, my child.
Teaching is like, let me show you how to chop a carrot.
Oh.
Like, I'm not going to mentor you through how to cook a dish. I'm going to teach you how to cook a dish. I'm going to mentor you how to deal with difficult situations.
So she's going to mentor me on how not to die on the mountain. Going skiing.
On the bunny hill with a 2%.
We got to make it seem like I'm going down a mountain.
Oh, sorry. Big, scary
mountain. Bunny mountain.
So big and scary. No, but it's really curious, right? Because like Nicole was like, what are we going to talk about in this one? She's like, we could talk about skiing. She's like, I don't know where we're going to go with that. I was like, I have somewhere to go with that. I always have somewhere to go with everything.
She has tangents for days.
My favorite thing that people say about me is, that girl can talk.
Yeah. Well, her niece the other day, she goes, Auntie Dakota, you're talking too much. And Dakota was like, I do that. I do that.
I was like, you are correct. Would you like me to take a pause so you can speak? And she was like, actually, yes. No. Yeah, she normally tells me, she's like, maybe less talking. And I'm like, maybe more. Who knows?
Honestly.
I'm not crushing your dreams, girlfriend. But I can fill empty space if needed. But the funny thing is, on a tangent, before we get into the ski tangent.
Oh, okay.
Is I love silence.
I mean,
I love silence.
But like, okay, in what sense? Like, with people around or by yourself?
I don't mind. So I once in high school, I had a class called peer leadership, or peer mentors. I don't know, something. Because then I had one in college, so I was like, peer the other of what the peer to the first one was. And so she taught us in that class because she was like, confidence is being okay with the uncomfortability. And so we would be paired up randomly with other people in the class, and we would have to go for a walk next to them and not feel awkward in the silence, or we'd have to like go sit at lunchtime with them and just not talk to each other and just be like, because she's like, there's so much enjoyment you can get from someone without talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, I can just be here and enjoy your presence, and we can talk about everything under the moon, and I can just be here.
But I think that comes with confidence, because I enjoy silence too.
Yeah.
But I think, like, you know, when you're with the right people, I guess, that are just confident in who they are, being in silence isn't weird. And I feel like a lot of people make things awkward because they're making it awkward, not because it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's not a test on a date, because I don't test. But I'm like, I oftentimes, oops, I'm so sorry, Mr. Mike.
We are sorry, Mr. Mike.
I'm so sorry for that intrusion on your ear holes. But I oftentimes, like, I will find silence in a date, and I'm like, I'm not going to fill this, because if they're too uncomfortable with this, as someone who is a talker, as someone who is a space filler, I don't want you to have that expectation on me all the time, because I'm also an introvert.
Yeah.
Skiing. And we're back.
Oh.
That's what my mentor said after a tangent. She's like, and we're back. So it was really, really curious, right? Because we talked about this in the last episode. We probably talked about it in the episode before that, too. That came out a year ago. But throwback to myself.
Throwback.
And I'm someone who used to have really, really big anxiety. Really, I had almost debilitating anxiety, and we worked through that. But I still can be anxious in spots. And situations that cause my angst. So I no longer call it anxiety, because like my anxiety stopped me. Like, it was like stopped in your tracks, like sitting in front of the grocery store for 30 minutes in your car before you could go in. That was like my anxiety. Yeah. My anxiousness is like, I feel uncomfortable in this situation, but I know nothing horrible is going to happen. And my anxiousness shows up when I do new things.
Okay.
So my anxiousness is like, oh, we're going to rent skis today. I don't know how to do that or what that looks like. I haven't ever had to do that.
She did that gracefully.
Yeah, it's like inside there's like minions running around and they're like, ah! Like that.
To be fair though, it's Dakota has this thing, which I think has to do with your dominant masculine side. Because like I am someone who figures out shit. But like being Dakota's friend, she will be super in her own world and then all of a sudden be like, okay, so today we're gonna do this. So that means, and then she gets on her laptop and she's like, okay, so the skis are gonna cost you about this much. And then if you want the pass, and then I'm like, I'm super chill. Like my personality is very chill.
And then I'm like, we don't have time today anymore because we woke up too late because we didn't make a plan last night because I fell asleep on the couch. So we can't go today. So we have to go tomorrow.
But that's the funny thing is like you will be super on the couch, chill, whatever. And then you get a rocket up your butt to then get the things done in 5 minutes, where Nicole is like, I get the things done, but like I do it calmly throughout the day. Versus she's like, oh,
I'm high-low.
Procrastinator to the full max. And then after we got 5 minutes, we got to go do this, do the hike, then get Nicole's ski rentals, then do all these things. And like Nicole could have done it easily in the morning, but like Dakota didn't want to talk about it in the morning. So Nicole's like, all right, cool.
Never not want to talk about it.
No, but you were just like in your own zone.
Yeah. I was trying to do my morning practice for the first time in a week and a half.
Right.
Because I've been feeling ungrounded for the last week.
Yes.
And I was like, I know this is something that will pull me back in and help me feel better. I picked the wrong hair clip. It keeps falling out because it's too big.
It's fine.
But so things that cause me angst is the unknown. And so for me, I think this is what made me such a good event planner for a while. I feel like that sounds pompous to say, but what made me an event planner that was subpar to decent for a while is that I really care about other people's experiences. And so that's been a hard time for this trip, right? Because I'm at like, before you coming on this trip, I was like 10 out of 10 Dakota. And then pretty much like once I walked off that plane and then I was like, oh God, I'm meeting Nicole, I was like 6 out of 10 Dakota. And then we've been hovering around 5 or 6 out of 10 Dakota. And like now
you needed to recharge.
Yeah, and I'm coming back online as like 8 out of 10 Dakota and we're getting there. But I'm also like, you flew from Florida to see me. You got on a plane, you packed your bags, you took time off. Like, there's an expectation in my mind that's not from you, and there's no pressure from you, but there's an expectation in my mind that I'm like, this is someone I voice memo all day, every day. This is one of my best friends in the whole world. This is someone who I love like a sister. This is someone who means the absolute world for me, has picked me up and dusted me off so many times, and I'm hosting them. And I'm like, trying to get my socks on, you know? And so it's like that expectation of like what I wanted the experience to be is not the reality that I'm competent of giving. And so there's that disappointment, and once again, not that I feel this from you, but that internal disappointment of I wanted this experience to be better for you. I wanted to host more. I wanted to have the caviar party. I wanted to do manifest, right? Like we know me, I'm a visionary. I had a 17,000 pinpoint to-do list of things for us to have fun doing. That's the masculine.
Mind you, Nicole's over here like, as long as we hang out, I'm cool. Like
one conversation, check. Put ski boots on, check. See snow, check. You know, and I'm like, but we didn't make 3 cheese boards and we only made miso chicken once, you know.
I also understand too, like you're coming back from a work trip, and also I know my low points and I understand that, and I am here, like the most important thing for me is just spending the time with you. It's not even like
of
doing
course, and
all
if I
the
came
things.
to your house and you were having this moment, I'd be like, girl, I got you. Like, let me know how to support. But it's our internal dialogues, right?
Yeah.
So Nicole is like, one thing I want to do here, go skiing.
One thing.
And I'm like, I don't think you do. And she's like, one thing, skiing. And I'm like, it's going to cost you like $500. And then my brother like pops his head out from the other room and he's like, no, it's not. Like, shut up, Miles. Shut up. It will. Because I'm over here once again. You're so ready for the zest of life. You're so ready to fail. You're so ready to try. You're so ready to succeed. You're so ready to do whatever the experience is because you don't have an expectation of the outcome.
Yeah.
You are here to be like, I've never done this before. It looks really cool. You talk about it. Like, you talk about how your niece is 3 and she's been skiing for 3 years. You talk about how you have always done this with your family. You talk about having gotten the ski condo for 3 years. Like, you talk about the hard mountains where you cry halfway down the hill, and you talk about getting the muscles back, and you talk about the gear and all the things, right? Like, it's a whole part of my life, and you're like, I'm so interested in that, and I've been interested in it before.
Yeah.
But I'm over here and I'm like, yeah, but like skiing can be really hard. And like, does she get it? Because like sometimes like when I go skiing for the first time to start the year up, like if I don't have the right muscles, I'm like, my feet are cramping, my toes are cold, and you're out here on like a 7 degrees day. And it's not fun for most people in these days. And I'm like, and I know half the time when I was watching my niece learn how to ski, all I saw was adults just like slamming into the ground left and right. And I'm like, and I'm not a teacher. I don't have the teacher archetype. The last person I tried to teach quit their job instead of learning the activity I was trying to teach them. And so I'm like, I'm over here writing this whole story about how I'm not good enough to fulfill my expectation of what your expectation is. Not even your expectation.
Yeah, it's your expectation.
My expectation of what your expectation is. And you're like, I just want to clip in. I heard you and Callie talking about first you put your toe in, then you put your heel in, and you hear the click. And that's how you know you're ready to ski, right? There's like a kid's book we read to her.
I need that song.
And like, you're like, oh, put my toe in my heel in, and click, click, click. We're off to go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, get on the carpet.
Woo.
1, 2, 3, we're up the top. You know, and it's like, and I'm over here like, I'm not enough. I don't know. I was like, I'm still like, because I used to be a great skier, and that's really fun. My brother talks to me about it all the time. He's like, remember when you used to ski the double black diamonds, and now you only like the blue squares? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm old, and it hurts to fall, and I don't want to.
But you can totally it's like, I feel like it would be riding a bike for you.
It is. The biggest thing is the muscles.
Yeah.
Skiing well is so much muscle, and release is a whole metaphor for my life right now. Skiing is a metaphor of life. But skiing is about releasing the fear of falling.
Oh.
And falling can translate into your life, the fear of failing.
Yeah.
And I'm white knuckling a little bit in life and in skiing, not failing and not falling.
That's so interesting.
And so it's holding me back.
Yeah. Like, that is super interesting because my whole perspective on the skiing is like, my mentality is like, if I don't do this now, like, I can't get better at it. That is the way I'm.
Everybody take notes on that. That was so good.
But it's true. Like, I'm like, I am 31 years old and I've never been skiing, and I want to ski and I want to be good at skiing, but I like to be good at multiple things, and I love doing like active sports. Like, I love sports in general. So I was like, okay, if this trip with Dakota, I can maybe do the basic classes so the next trip I plan where we go skiing, I can actually do a bigger slope or a bigger, like, you know, a harder level of skiing so that I can enjoy it and like get better each time I do it. But that's the way I approach anything, and especially sports, because like I've played a bunch of different sports in my life, and like for me, that was my whole mentality on this trip, was like, I need to do it once so that I can learn and get better at it, so the next time I can plan a whole trip around it.
Which I think the thing is, right, like the tangent off of that is you get really good at failing.
Yeah.
Or you stop failing in life and you get really bad at failing, and then failing holds you back. Like, my favorite memory was when I first moved to California, and I was working for an entrepreneurial couple all based around self-development. And I bet $1 million, maybe not that much, I don't have that much, but I bet
You will have that much.
I bet $2 that she does not remember this conversation she had with me. But me and the wife out of the couple were talking, and I was talking about how I wanted to start failing at things again. And she's like, well, she's like, let's do 30 days of failing. She's like, why don't you fail at things for 30 days in a row? Or how about for the next 6 months, anytime you find something that you want to do, but you're afraid to do it because you might fail at it, AKA just be learning.
Yeah.
I'll challenge you to do it, and then you have to do it. And so for 6 months, I did all these things, right? Like, I went surfing and I did hikes that were way outside of my comfort zone because I hadn't hiked in years. And I went to Orange Theory and yoga, and I did all these things that had been like things I wanted to try by myself, because that was a big part of that time in my life, was like feeling confident and comfortable. I had always been in committed relationships or had codependent friendships. And so doing things alone was really difficult. And I didn't have anyone in LA to do the things with. So it was like, you got to do them. Shit or get off the pot. And so that's a really wonderful visual for everyone.
You know what?
And so I did that, and I got so good at failing. And I think that's what's missing from my life right now, is I'm so afraid to fail. But to bring it back to skiing, is that my fear of failing as the teacher, as the friend, as the host, then started to dampen Nicole's experience.
Or so you think.
Well, to the degree, right? Because you didn't say it that sternly, and we also know each other that well, but you were sitting at the stools and I was at the table, and you were like, I just want to go skiing.
Yeah.
And like, she had to say it in like the capital, like, I don't care what it looks like. I just want to go. You know, I don't care if you're bad or good. I can watch YouTube. I just want to go.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to get better, and I can't get better if I don't start. And I was like, oh, my beliefs on my abilities to teach you, or my fear of feeling awkward or out of place, right? Because I'm a little duckling with Miles and Mandy. I go into the lodge, I put the stuff where they put the stuff, like I follow them around. Yeah. But like, obviously I know what I'm doing. Like, I put your feet in your ski boots like a pro today. Like, I was like, I could have taken you through the whole try-on process, you know?
Which she did. She did.
But it's like that belief of, I was like, my fear of my own failing is preventing you from having your experience, but it's also preventing me from having an experience too.
Yeah.
And so it was really fascinating to kind of see that moment. And it's like, where are we doing that in our life, right? Like, where are we doing that to our kids? Where are we doing that to our partners or friendships? Like,
where it's like a projection.
Yeah.
In a way.
And I'm not even the one who's going to fail. Yeah. I know how to ski. I know how to ski.
And I'm over here like, I just want to fail faster so I can get there faster.
And I'm like, that's a fucking wonderful analogy. Maybe I should take notes. Like, fail more often, fail faster, learn faster. You know, but it's like, it was just a really curious switch that happened, that it was like, fascinating. I'm preventing you from having the growth you want because I'm afraid of failing at something I can't even fail at.
Yeah.
I could fail at being a bad teacher, right? Like, I could fail at not being able to tell you exactly where to put your weight in. But like, if we only go to the bunny hill, there's no damage can be done.
Yeah, yeah. Which my goal is to like do the bunny hill and then maybe green circle, but we're gonna do the bunny hill first.
And green circle. Have you ever seen that meme that he's like, it always happens when you're a new skier and you go out with your friends who know how to ski, and you're like, let's go on Pop-Tart to Unicorn Dreamland down to the base camp. And they're like, no, let's go on Devil's Butthole to Satan's Savior. You know, and they're like...
to Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, it's like, straight into the fiery pits of hell. And they're like, yeah, but I really think like Pop-Tart Unicorn Kisses sounds much better.
Yeah.
Because like when you look at ski, like if you are not a skier, or if you're from Florida... Welcome to the ski. Welcome. It's snow. The snow is white and it's made of rain that's frozen. But if you look at a ski map, all the like green circles have like fun names, except for up here actually. And then all the blue circles have like moderate names. And then all the like black diamonds, which are the hard ones, have like scary names. But I find on this mountain for some reason, and it's probably just my own preferred in mind, is I find like half the names are like incest names.
Oh my God.
Like, it's like 7 sisters. And I'm like, that's not ancestral. But like, what do you mean 7 sisters? Or like kissing cousins? And I'm like, why are the cousins kissing? Don't kiss your cousin. Like,
yeah, that's not.
That's blood. Yeah. And like, I don't know. We'll look at them tomorrow. But there's like, a lot of them are like.
Weird names.
Excuse me, what? I'm sorry, no. Thank you. Capital no.
Absolutely not.
I feel like that's in the like, maybe not. Ever. category.
Like, let's change the name.
Like, let's go back to unicorn farts. That feels really
Unicorn farts.
not offensive to most people. That's like unicorn farts just equals sprinkles.
Yeah. Sprinkles, which Callie loves sprinkles.
She loves sprinkles.
She loves blue sprinkles.
She loves the color blue and
Yeah.
sprinkles and Spidey.
Yeah.
This
Well-
is my niece that I talk about as my daughter.
So, actually, interesting. I ask people this all the time. So, like, obviously, I feel like I know the answer based on what you were just saying, but do you think failing is part of succeeding?
1,000%.
Okay.
But the thing is, and I'm gonna sound so cliche, like every single self-help book
We
on the
love
world.
cliche.
Dun, 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 cliche.
Woo.
It's only failure if you stop trying. So I don't technically think failing is succeeding. I think trying, pivoting, and trying again is succeeding.
Yeah.
Because failure to me is doing it once and then being like, why am I not like the pros who've trained their whole life? I give up.
Yep.
And then walking away from it. Because I truly believe with enough grit, determination, and willpower, you can be really good.
Yeah.
I won't say you'll be great or the best or an Olympian at anything, but I think with enough grit, willpower, time, energy, you can be really good at just about anything.
I mean, I think it falls in line with like consistency is key to success, right? Like if you consistently do something every single day, you're bound to like be better at it.
You just got to put in like whatever that is, like your 800 hours or your 80 hours, I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. Put them in.
Put them in.
And don't worry about like, where am I at my 80 hours? Just keep lifting the weight, keep training the muscle, keep doing it. Like I was talking to someone about a mindset. I don't even remember what it was, but I was talking to them about a mindset thing and they were like, well, how long did it take? I was like, I don't know. I just kept rewriting the
reps.
script. Every time that thought came in, I said, not today. Not today. And I rewrote the story that I wanted. And then I was like, ooh, I caught this one a little bit sooner. We got less down the path. We got less into that Sanskara. Like, great, I'm making forward progress. It's like when you were a kid and you're going, like, trying to go up the down escalator. And, like, you get to a point where you're like, I'm making more progress and I'm losing steps. And so it's like, I think that's the perfect analogy to learning something new. I think that's the perfect analogy to rewriting our brain power, which like, that is all willpower based and you can rewrite neurosystems through hypnosis and other practices that are way easier. But
Another tangent.
asking me about my side hustle. But I do think that's the thing. It's the reps. It's the reps. Everything you do, you get stronger and stronger and stronger.
And everyone's timeline is different. Like, you can't compare yourself to someone else because, like, everyone's experiences are different. Everyone's work ethic is different. And your reps are your reps. Like, your journey is your journey. You can't put a time on that. It's going to happen one day where if you consistently do something, one day you're going to be like, oh, shit, we're here. We made it.
Here we are.
I'm skiing.
Let's show it.
I'm going to be a skier. I'm putting it right. I told Dakota the other day, I'm like, I would love to get to a point where I plan trips with my family to go skiing.
Does the rest of your family ski?
So my dad has skied before, but that didn't really go well for him.
It's a really big theme with dads.
He got surgery on his foot and had to get, I think, like a rod or something in his ankle.
That does not seem like a skiing foot.
I just think like it was, I have to ask
He had to do
him.
that because of skiing?
So he got injured skiing. But the thing, I don't remember what happened, but it was funny because like, I think my mom, the way I remember my mom saying the story, which I'm sorry, Mom, if I say it incorrectly, but
Does mommy listen?
she listens.
Mommy
listens. But my dad
I was
had,
like, hopefully all those inappropriate things during the testings that I said get not in
it's
here.
fine. Daphne loves the pod.
I'm a wonderful influence on your daughter.
Wonderful. So she had told me the story, the way I remember the story is that she had told me my dad was going on a business trip in like a place where skiing is a thing.
The land of the snow.
Right. So, and he was going to make like all this extra cash on that trip. So my mom went all out and like had me and my brother take like photos. We were like 3 or 4, I think. So like, you know how when your parents take you to do a photo shoot, I don't know if your parents ever did that, but like she had us do a photo shoot, which it's a picture that I have with my mom where like me and my mom are in like little off the shoulder things.
Yeah, I think it's hanging on a wall in your house.
It's hanging on a wall in my house.
It.
So my mom did this
Seen it.
whole photo shoot with us, and while my dad was on this business trip where he was making like a side hustle money, and
Skiing side hustle money?
well, it was like he was there for work making extra money, but he had time to go skiing because it was a ski town. So he actually had to end that business trip early because he got injured in the point where like he had to have surgery and get like a rod or something metal stuck in his ankle so that, you know, his foot could function.
Then no money?
So then no money, and my mom spent all this money on this photo shoot. I don't know if you guys needed to know that, but now you know.
Now you can't not know.
But yes, conclusion, my brother has never been skiing. My mom, I'm not sure if she has, and then my dad has, but like that happened. So we're not skiers, conclusion. And I would like for my family to be skiers.
I feel like that's a big wish, but I'm open to your wishes.
I mean, maybe the family I create can be skiers, you know?
Maybe. It seems that my family is going to be skiers. I've had 2 guys that I have talked to. I should not.
We're in it.
I should not say these things, nor should I be allowed to date. 2 men who we were in the pursuing stages of things were like, it's an inevitable question, right? Because I spend half the year, I spend 5 months out of the year in a ski town.
Okay.
In the middle of nowhere, skiing. So it's like, do you ski or snowboard? Like, casual. And then they're like, no. And I'm like, well, this was fun. Hope you have a great rest of your life. Bye.
Was that it?
That's the whole story. But that's so rude. You can't.
Damn, they really shut down a conversation with you.
No, I said that.
Oh,
I
you
shut it
said
down.
That. Oh.
They're like, no. But like, they're like, but I'm happy to drink beer in the lodge. And I'm like, I don't date no whims. We have a non-negotiable ski family.
Oh. So like
it's frowned upon in my family that I choose to hang out with Callie instead of skiing. Even though that makes other people have more ski time.
Dang.
That's like, well, my brother's always like, you don't want to do another run? Why don't you want to do another run? You could get some runs in while we get her pizza.
This is true.
And I'm like, I'm cold and it hurts. But like, yeah. Tana snowboards, Cody skis, they all backcountry ski, they all have done heli skiing. Like, I'm like the wimpy skier in the group, and God forbid, if I brought in a husband that doesn't ski, they would exiled. Besides the fact that I won't be a Wallace, exiled from the family.
Yeah.
Straight to jail.
Your brothers would be like, absolutely
do not pass go. Do not collect $100, $200.
I'm just trying to enjoy skiing. I'm not trying to be a professional skier.
Okay, well, at least you're getting out of the lodge like those other people.
Yeah. Anyways.
Shots fired.
Shots have been fired. You need some more wine.
Actually, just one of them was like, I got a concussion skiing, so I'm not doing it anymore. And instead I was like, well, it was really nice talking to you. Thanks for sharing that vulnerable thing with me.
You're welcome.
This is feeling like a no to me, but I love that for us.
So let's take it back to the wine. What would your rating be on this wine?
I say this is equivalent to snow in your face while going down a blue square. That sounds so unexciting.
Blue square, even though that's hard.
It's hard, but it doesn't sound, a blue square does not sound intimidating.
A black diamond.
A black diamond does. But think about this. You go from blue square to black diamond. Like, do you not feel like, I feel like there should be
a red
triangle in between those.
Red triangle should happen, yes.
But we go happy green circle to blue square to black diamond. And then double black diamond.
You're like, whoa, double black diamond?
You're like,
How did
I used to ski those all the time when I was a kiddo. I gotta get better.
You will.
I gotta put in the reps.
So what's your rating on this wine?
It's good.
I would say that's like 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Oh.
It's good means 8 out of 10 for Dakota. No, you're not going to say that because I said it.
Both me and Callie have maniacal laughter when we choose. So this is the thing about this wine.
Uh-oh.
Drinking on a podcast by a very, very, very hot fire.
Oh, you don't like the warmth?
8 out of 10. But pairing this one, besides meaty mushrooms, the rest of the pairings, I'm like, So eating this with food, like, I'm like, I don't think it pairs well with food. And for some people, like my brother, Cody and Tana, would love this wine because it's one of those wines that after you drink, very dry in the mouth. Mm-hmm. And that's how they like their wines. They like very, very dry mouth wines. Feels, yep. For me, I'm in a juicy phase. We've talked about that.
This is why you don't like this.
And so this is not a sipping wine for me.
Really?
I think the flavor profile is good. I would enjoy this if someone poured me this. I would not be upset. I've had much worse wines in my life. But I just think it's too dry.
Okay.
And maybe that's because we're in a very dry atmosphere in a very dry town. What does that mean? It's just New England. But it's got some big legs. But I think for me, looking at it in my lifestyle, so not an individual wine pulled off a shelf, but in my lifestyle, it doesn't fit into my life.
Okay.
But I think
that's a high rating then, if that's how you feel about it. 8 out of 10.
But it's not bad. Like I said, like if someone poured this for me, I'm enjoying this wine.
Yeah.
But like I said, pairing wines with food is very important to me. That was the class I took, and I don't feel like it pairs with, like I feel like this might pair with like a veal well, but like I don't eat veal. Last time I ate it, I projectile vomited it into a probably 200-year-old's face, and then a flower pot.
It's so interesting because I feel opposite about this wine. Like,
I'm glad that you love it.
I think it's a really well-balanced, complex wine. It is on the dry side, I will say that. So, like, the tannins are present.
It's like juicy up front and then dry.
It's juicy, but then it's like you feel the tannins on the finish.
You do. You get that.
You feel the tannins on the finish, but I like that. So, it's personal preference at the end of the day. And for me, this is an 8.8 out of 10.
8.8?
8.8 out of 10.
We don't just move by halves. What does this wine need to do to become a 9 for you?
I feel like it would be a 9 if I pair it well with a specific dish.
How does it become a 10?
I don't know. Maybe aged. It might become a 10.
Dances.
Maybe like if I had this a year or two later, it might be different. Because it might be smoother on the feel because the tannins
have lessened.
Yeah, have lessened, exactly. Because what tannins do, they love to like link up in the bottle. I don't know if you know this about aging.
Ding ding.
But they do this thing where they like link up and fall to the bottom as sediment.
Well, that makes sense why my brother likes young wines.
Because he likes the full tannic feel of like it's astringent on the mouth feel.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. That's why he likes young wines.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let us know if you guys try this wine. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you're going skiing, because I'm going skiing.
Don't hire me as your coach.
Don't hire Dakota.
But I can help you get your ski boots on.
I'll let you guys know in future episodes how it went. Cross my fingers. I hope it goes good. It will go good.
It's going to be great. The bunny, anyone can do the bunny hill.
Anyone can do the bunny hill. Callie is a 3-year-old. She can do the bunny hill.
She's been doing it for 3 years.
Yeah,
she's been doing it since she was like 4 months old.
So I should have no excuse.
I mean, she's always had someone holding her up, and she's been in between someone's skis, and you are not getting in between my skis.
These are little details.
I don't let anyone in between my skis.
No. I don't expect to be. I think that would be a worse outcome if I were to do that.
Some people, no, I haven't seen adults. As long as you don't turn into Bambi on your skis, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's people who get like all like, you gotta just be like.
I think the key is for me not to freak out.
Yeah, I think that's life.
the key in
I
life.
think in anything you do.
Analogy, don't freak out. Have
It's
your
like
wine.
an ice bath. Take some breaths.
Take some breaths. Reevaluate if you need to. That's it. Move forward.
Yeah.
Pizza.
You can, I know that Bunny Hill so well. You can literally pizza it the whole way down and be fine. Just don't cross your skis.
Okay. No
Cross
crossing
your
the skis.
skis straight to jail.
Okay, straight to jail.
And when I
Anyways,
say jail, I mean faceplant into the snow and ouchie, because it will be hard.
no, we're not going to do that.
We did not get a helmet.
We're digressing with minimal details. Cheers to another episode. I hope you have your wine tonight, because we sure will finish this, even though it's a 8 out of 10 for Dakota. It's not a bad
Did
rating.
I not?
It's not a bad rating.
I ranked the other one an 8 out of 10, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Both an 8 out of 10. Anyways, cheers. We love you. Thank you for listening.
Adios.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I won't be there.